What's up, everyone? We're back again with another new comic book day, and today we've got a couple brand new series coming out from DC and Image. Marvel's also dropping their ASM's Big Issue 50, so keep watching this video to see which issues I picked up and hear my reviews on them, and stick around until the end to see which issue is my top choice of the week and which one I know you need to be investing in, so stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. AR Comics here, and today I'm going to be going over all of the new issues from New Comic Book Day, October 14th, 2020. But before I get into any of that, if you are new to the channel, welcome. A little bit about me: I drop weekly comic book content that includes upcoming book releases, speculation videos, comic book hauls and unboxings, and you're watching it right now, New Comic Book Day reviews. So if that sounds like something you do not want to miss out on, make sure you hit the subscribe button down low and the little bell to get notified every time I drop new content. You won't regret it. And now, without further ado, let's get started on the reviews. So if you can recall from my last video about my upcoming book releases, I thought it was going to be a lighter week. I really wasn't too interested in a lot of the titles that were coming out, but I've got to say, they were way better than I could have imagined. A lot of these exceeded my expectations. Some of them fell a little short, but overall I'd say it was an awesome week. I've got 9 issues in front of me, so let's get on to the reviews. So coming in at number 9 this week, we've got Dark Knight's Death Metal number 4. This is a main issue. We're finally kind of over these tie-ins and one-shots a little bit, and despite it coming in 9th place, honestly I thought the issue was pretty good. It did a good job recapping everything that's been going on in all of the one-shots. It finally kind of brought all the stories together and just kind of showed the aftermath of all of it. I still am kind of on edge if I'm going to be getting the next issue. The way it did end kind of set up for a whole new, not arc because it's obviously the same story, but we saw Batman Who Laughs plan come into full effect, and I do want to see where the story goes, but at the same time, I'm kind of losing focus and just not completely interested in it. So overall, it wasn't a bad issue. I just don't think personally it's for me. Coming in at number 8, we've got Image's brand new series called Commanders in Crisis. This is going to be a new ongoing series, and I was a little confused reading it in the beginning, but the way that the writers did this is they just set up an entire story and plot, and they did a phenomenal job with it. I felt lost, but I think that was just me reading it myself because so much was actually going on. But the way that this was made, it's like they set up an entire multiverse, different universes with all these different superheroes that are all going to be coming together to just kind of save the planet. They brought in some different enemies, and they really did a good job bringing it all together. And this came in at number 8, and I'm definitely going to be grabbing the next one. And now, coming in at number 7, we've got Captain Marvel 22. This is a brand new arc, and this is the first time I'm reviewing this series at all for you. I finally was able to grab all of them. I sat down in maybe 2 or 3 different sittings, and I read all of it. And I've got to say, overall, this is not a very good story. I didn't like the last arc because of the whole Empire stuff, and I think a lot of these first appearances are being overlooked because this series as a whole is not very good. And I thought maybe because of Empire, I'm not reading it. I didn't like that arc. And the one before that wasn't too bad. And the one before that I think was Everything Was Star. And I did enjoy that one. So I thought maybe this is going to be the one. And it was very okay. It's set in the future. They still have all of the main characters that have been in every single issue so far. But future setting. It was alright. It's definitely skippable. I don't think this series is honestly worth the read. I am going to keep getting it just because I've already got now all 22 issues, and I've got some second prints of the main ones, like the first appearances, but this is definitely something to wait for a trade. Do not waste your money on it. Up next, coming in at number 6, we've got Bad Mother number 3. I love this issue. It's cover A. It's the only cover that they had. And this series, to me, just keeps getting better and better. I know it's kind of at that halfway point, almost over. I feel like they could totally extend this a few more issues and it wouldn't, make a difference. There's not a lot of dialogue. The story is kind of light, but because the art is so good in it, you know exactly what's going on. The mom decides to go full commando on, the bad guys. She needs to find her daughter, and she's literally willing to go at all lengths to find her. She's turned super badass. She's trying to figure out how to take down this massive kingpin group, and she's doing it all herself. I really love this series right now, and in my opinion, you need to be reading this. This company, AWA, puts out phenomenal books all the time, and to me, this is probably my favorite one that they have. So if you're not reading this, pick it up. You will not regret it. And now, coming in at number 5, we've got DC's newest series. It's a black label, Rorschach #1. This is cover A, and it did not let me down. I was really looking forward to it. The artwork was fantastic. I really enjoyed the dialogue. One of the problems I had with it is just me personally. I don't know a lot about this character. I actually don't know anything about this character at all. So I felt a little bit lost. I think if you are up to date on Rorschach, or you've read at least a decent amount of stuff with him in it, this issue will make a lot more sense to you. I think they did a pretty decent job kind of just filling a new reader like myself in, but the story was enjoyable. It was like right off the bat, Rorschach and whoever he was with got killed, and they spent the whole issue trying to identify them. They're saying, oh, it's just a fake killer, like it's not the real Rorschach. But, towards the end, you kind of figure out that it's obviously the real guy that's still on the loose. So definitely worth reading if you're, into DC, the Black Label stuff. I enjoyed it, and I don't know anything about Rorschach, so I should tell you something. And now, coming in at number 4 for this week, we've got Once and Future number 12. I know I flip kind of back and forth saying I'm not really enjoying this series, and now I am, and now I'm not again. Alright, I'm officially on the I enjoy this series train. This new arc has been fantastic. So I kind of enjoyed the last arc a little bit. It wasn't too bad. It grew with me a little bit more. And now this one has been great so far. They're expanding it a little bit more. And as I always talk about, I think it's the artwork that just really does it for me. This issue dove a little bit deeper with all the myths and folklore stories. It had Beowulf in it, Merlin. I think they brought King Arthur back into it a little bit. And they're just diving a little bit deeper into this arc and just this poem. If you're reading it, you know what I'm talking about. Like, everything has to line up on the story, and right now things are all crazy because the stories aren't actually lining up, so it's just chaos everywhere. This is something you also need to be reading. It's definitely going to be a Netflix show. Definitely read this, get yourself caught up. Fantastic issue. I'm officially on the train. And now we're down to my final 3 issues of the week. These issues were so hard to pick from, but one of them's got to come in at number 3. And today we've got Immortal Hulk number 38. This is cover A by Al Ewing. Him and his team have done such a great job with this story as a whole, and this issue did not let me down. I talk so highly of this series to literally everyone I talk to. I tell them, if you're not reading Immortal Hulk, you are missing out on one of Marvel's best series. Granted, it is on issue 38. They do have trade paperbacks and some hardcovers, so there's no reason that you can't get caught up. But this issue, it was kind of a continuation from the last one. Not really anything too new, but you got to see the leader's plans come into full effect. You saw kind of more of his perspective of everything instead of Bruce Banner's or the Hulk's, where they're kind of confused and you don't know what's really going on. But now you see the leader's side of it. Everything makes more sense. And the way that they just ended this issue was wild. I can't wait for the next one. I just really do love this series. Al Ewing, you have done such a great job with it. And now, my last 2 issues. Up next, we have 7 Secrets number 3. This series right now has just blown my mind. It started off pretty strong. Issue 2 was pretty good as well, but 3 just brought it all together. And I'm going to be honest, I think this series is going to be huge. They have done so much with this right now. They're really expanding on the story even more. It's like Casper, the kid that we've been following since the first issue, is going through all of these trials. He's kind of like working to be able to hold a secret, and they're trying to trust him. They're seeing if he's valuable enough to be able to do this. And it was just the whole issue. He went through all these trials with other candidates, and I'm not going to say if he proved himself worthy or not, but it's only on issue 3. You are making a mistake if you're not reading this right now. Give 7 Secrets a try. It's one of my favorite series right now. I think it's by Boom Studios. This is definitely one of their best ones right now. And now, my number 1 issue of the week. You already know what this is. ASM 50, the Alex Ross Timeless variant. This is an issue you must pick up if you are reading this entire story. This is probably one of the most, if not the most, important ones. But before I even talk about this story, I just need to talk about this cover. You know I always talk about Alex Ross, all of his Timeless variants, but oh my God, this one is beautiful. I obviously love Spider-Man. As you can tell, I've got a ton of Spider-Man stuff around in this room, but This cover, this might be one of my favorite covers that I own. I absolutely love it. Let's talk about this issue real quick. So Nick Spencer, I feel like he was writing it and we were all reading it and we thought the same thing. If you read it, you know what I'm talking about. Kindred started off the issue and he was like, I've been waiting for this the whole time. It's been like the plan this whole time. I've been anticipating this. And I'm thinking they're reading it like, yo, me too. I've been waiting 50 issues for this. Maybe not 50, but you know, I've been waiting a long time to see Kindred do his thing. But Kindred was here, Sin Eater, Norman Osborn. You saw Sin Eater's plan come into full effect. It's not completely done yet, obviously, but this is the first issue of the brand new arc. And if you're keeping up with this story, you have to read this issue. It was incredible. Nick Spencer did a fantastic job with this. The artwork was beautiful. Obviously, I love the cover too, but this was hands down my #1 issue this week. You need to grab it. So now is my favorite part of the video. I get to talk about my top issue of the week and my top investment choice. And for both of them, I've got to say ASM 50. I love this read. There were so many good issues as well. My favorite read this week could have been Seven Secrets #3, but this one did it for me. I love it. And for top investment choice, I'm not going to spoil it, but you do get who Kindred is at the very end. We've been waiting for all of these issues and it finally happened. And I talk about it all the time. It's Spider-Man. Spider-Man has been around forever. Some issues are a lot worse than others. But not only is Kindred a first appearance, and I believe issue 1 was him, but you figure out his name, Kindred, and I think issue 24, but now you get his actual identity. That could be very important for the future of Spider-Man. I wouldn't knock it. This should be something you should grab while it's definitely cheap. They're not selling out of this anytime soon. But that's why I believe you should be investing in this issue. So thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that thumbs up. And if you don't want to miss out on any of my future content, make sure you hit the subscribe button down low and the little bell to get notified every time I drop new content. You won't regret it. And I've got 2 more videos sitting off to the side here. Click on one of those and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.